Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hamilton. I'm here at the Massachusetts Conference for Women with the beautiful Ellie Krieger. Hello.
Hi.
How
Great
are
to be
you?
here.
Thank you. We just want to know about you here at the Best Ever You Network. We'd love to hear what you're here speaking about today, and what new things you've got going on.
Yeah.
Fill us in.
Oh my! I had a great time. This is such an inspiring place. First of all, with so many incredible women, including yourself. So
you.
pleasure to meet you. And I was talking about here today: small changes, big results. So how to change your mindset from this diet roller coaster that women are so often on, and that I myself have experienced. I mean, really, it was amazing how it resonated with the about 1,000 people in the room. Everyone was like nodding their heads. But how exhausting it can be to be on that in the extremes, and how to go from the extremes where we think of delicious food in a circle over here and healthy food in a circle over here. But in fact, there's a beautiful intersection where those two circles meet, and that's the sweet spot where you can really live a glorious life of eating well and also being healthy.
So you're not one of those people who's at the gym from 6 in the morning till midnight?
You know what? Who has time?
Yeah,
I have
I
a million and
don't.
one other things to do. But I do work out regularly. I'm very active. I love to be active. So I do carve
Like
that.
you're at the gym all day.
Oh, thank you. I carve out that time. It's really critical to me,
Yeah.
both emotionally and physically. So even when I feel like I don't have time, I make time, and I literally say these words to myself. Girl, if I say I can't afford to go because I have to do X, Y, and Z, I say these words. Girl, you can't afford not to go.
Yeah, I've kind of started saying something similar to like that. Like I'll get up in the morning and I'll do about 10 things first, and then blow off exercise, and then I'm like, whoa, this has got to shift around a little bit.
It's a priority.
Does that help?
I feel like I have to make it a priority. I have to schedule it in my day.
Yeah.
There's like any other appointment. And if I really do think about it, I can't afford not to, for my own emotional and physical well-being for that day, for the short term, and certainly for the long term. So I try to think like that.
So what's your website for somebody listening that might want to follow you?
So my website is elliekrieger.com,
Okay.
and I have lots of recipes on there, and I have lots of articles that I've written. I'm writing a column now for the Washington Post, so I'm writing 2 columns actually, so it's really neat. And so there's lots on there, and then also on Facebook and Twitter, I'm always kind of putting it out there as well.
I see you out there.
Thank
It's really
you.
neat. Do you? How'd you get started doing all of this?
Oh my goodness. Well, really I started, my mother says it perfectly, that me becoming a nutritionist is like a pyromaniac becoming a firefighter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've always loved food, and I learned in my teens just kind of how to love food in a healthy way.
That's good you learned it that early.
I was an overweight child, and it was a struggle for me. And I went in the other direction, really under eating and dealing with kind of like binging, dieting, which is where that roller coaster thing is. And eventually really learned how to love food, love cooking, love this, but in a way that was healthy for me. I studied nutrition as an undergrad, and then went on for my master's in nutrition education. And this was just my passion. And it's just a joy for me to be able to help other people love food in a healthy way.
So now one thing I've struggled with, and I say this to you not to talk about me or anything, but because I'm going to guess somebody else has struggled with this before. Chocolate number 1, but let's skip that and go over to pregnancies. I'm a mom of 4 boys. They're now 13, 15, 17, and 19. And with each pregnancy, I would gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. Do you have any tips for people who are out there who are pregnant or just having a baby, all those types of things?
Yeah.
That's a really important time to take care of yourself, and it's really hard to take care of you when you're taking care of
It really is.
newborn or
It is so
multiple.
hard. I have 1 daughter, and I'm sort of like, 1's enough for me. I don't know how you do. But yeah, it's very, very trying. But I think, first of all, this is one thing. I think, first of all, nurture yourself. You need to nurture yourself, and that means feeding yourself well.
Yeah.
So making sure that you're nurturing yourself too, and that you're important. And you know what? I think, especially when you have little kids, to let them see that mommy deserves more than the scraps, than the crusts of the bread. Honestly, you deserve more than the crust of the bread. Sit down, make yourself a sandwich, and sit down and eat it. And let your kids see that.
Shows a good example,
Because
doesn't it?
you're giving them an example of how to eat, and that this is how we nourish our bodies. And so there's double, 2 good sides to that picture. One, you're taking care of yourself in a real way, and stopping and eating And then you won't be picking all day, because all that picking adds up to like a ridiculous amount of calories. And then you're also giving them an example. This is how we nourish ourselves. So.
I was an exerciser. I found exercise to be
really
helpful.
Yeah, and you can do that with the little ones
I'm
too.
a better exerciser than a good eater. So I have to, that's my struggle.
Right.
So I think a lot of people struggle with one way or the other. And
Yeah, you know what? It's all a work in progress.
Yeah.
And so I think we have to be kind to ourselves and allow ourselves imperfection, because it's all imperfect. There's no such thing as a perfect diet. There's no such thing as perfect anything, right? And I think we get set up to think that it has to be a certain way or bust. And I think that's a danger too. These are, that sort of thinking in the extremes. And so, okay, maybe your diet isn't ideal, maybe that's harder for you, but what are the steps that you can take to push that forward and move that in the direction that you see as a vision for who you want to be?
you heard it here first, you don't have to be perfect. Be your best.
True.
Anyway, all right, thank you so much.
Thank
Ellie.
you. Nice to
Appreciate your
meet
time.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you too.